what concerns you the most about the role that annuities play in retirement planning?
My concern, I guess, is there's not an even playing commission incentive when it comes to broker-dealer based advisors recommending products.
I actually did a study where I compared fee-based annuities to commission-based annuities on an apples-to-apples basis. And what that research showed was that partly through year 4 or 5, the commissionable product ends up being a better deal for the client. An A fee is, in perpetuity, and the commission is paid one time on an annuity. So if you're talking about paying the least, the commissionable product is more consumer friendly in that regard.
Nobody should be writing any product for the compensation, but just like they're saying that annuity people are incented to get that commission, I would say the forever fees are way more than a one-time commission paid by the insurance company. I've seen a lot of RIAs refuse to write annuities because they didn't want to lose assets under management. So they have a conflict of interest as well.
I think that one of the things I like to point out to a lot of people is that an annuity is a tool and it's not a solution. And so when it's sold as a solution, that is where I get very protective of my people.
Cheryl, would you agree with that annuities are a tool and not a solution?
Absolutely. I mean, usually I like to reinforce that belief when people are saying this annuity is bad or annuities in general are bad. And I'm like, just because some serial killer uses a hammer to murder someone doesn't mean we need to outlaw hammers,
Why would I pay for basically a portfolio to be managed in this product when I can create a tax-deferred product without paying fees?
Actually, the majority of annuities do not have fees at all in them. That is a fallacy that's perpetuated about these products.
A single premium immediate annuity is not a fee product. A deferred income annuity is not a fee product. A fixed annuity is not a fee product. A MIGA, not a fee product. A base fixed index annuity, not a fee product.
All of the academia and articles that thought leaders in this industry write about why people use annuities, typically it's because somebody's saying, I'm scared about outliving my income. This product is about risk mitigation, not necessarily beating out stocks and bonds.
You said the number one fear of folks in retirement is running out of money. I think that makes a lot of sense if the solution we're trying to get to is annuities. The conversation I actually end up having with folks is it's not just not run out of money. It's also have flexibility, have freedom, leave a legacy, be thoughtful, have the best types of investments, the most aligned with their goals as possible with slightly flexible spending. Running out of money has just never been a problem.
There's a lot of risks in retirement, but there's only one number one risk. And that number one risk is longevity risk, because it's not just a risk, it's a risk multiplier of all the other risks. The longer you live, the more likely the market will crash, the more likely you take out too much money, the more likely you need long-term care, the more likely they'll raise your taxes, the more likely you'll see inflation. So what the PhDs who study retirement, and they're unanimous, to retire optimally, you must take that longevity risk off the table. Dr. David Blanchett, Dr. Michael Finke, two of the smartest PhDs, retirees who are behaviorally resistant to spending down savings may better achieve their lifestyle goals by increasing the share of their wealth allocated to annuitized income. Those aren't my words. Those are the words of the two smartest PhDs who study retirement. Lifetime income products are a cornerstone of retirement planning. I believe that down to my soul.
I read all of the research that Tom brought up, and that's why I'm so passionate about educating people about annuities, because it seems like there's a lot of people that are not able to make an assessment of whether or not they're right for them. But all of the research points to the use of annuities when appropriate.
I think there's essentially research to reach any conclusion you want to. That cigarettes are good for you, that Bitcoin's going to $1 million. Because the science and research says so, I think isn't nothing. And I've read it, and there's plenty of strong arguments on the other side. But I think that the point is, when you're a hammer, everything's a nail.
Either you believe in math and science or you don't. I do. And so I'll just rest my case.
I'm a big fan of both math and science. So we're on the same page.
I just like flexibility myself. That locking up income is not something that's favorable to me.
Well, unfortunately, that's not the reality when it comes to annuities. Most every annuity allows the client to take 10% of their money out each year without being subject to surrender penalties. There are lots of triggers where a client can access their money through an annuity.
I don't think anybody's going to change anybody's mind here. I don't agree at all with what Philip and Ali say. I don't agree one bit. And I guess they don't agree with me, but I'll take mine to the bank. And I own 13 annuities. I have an unlimited benefits long-term care plan. I just finished a 12-pay whole life at $226,000 a year. I believe in this stuff, and it's done very well for me, and I'm living the dream right now.
I've read research that shows that the vast majority of people who own annuities are happy with their purchase, but that is contrary to Allie and Philip's experience. There's a bunch of things that aren't true about these annuities that they think because they hear it from people like yourself or the Wall Street Journal or the New York Times, who have mutual fund advertisers. And when you describe what the annuity does, the consumer is instantly attracted to that story and wants to know more.
I would just say annuities should just do a rebranding. Like, just call it insurance, because I think if you call it insurance, there's people that'll insure their retirement. It's just, I can't figure out where it fits in this modern day world, and I hope that there's a place for it in the future.
Replace their bonds with an income annuity. The portfolio will perform better. They'll be happier. They'll live longer. You'll be happier too. And you got to get more gray hair. I get it. It's a generational thing.
There's some.